So it's November 2nd, 2020, and I get a phone call from Vic Blends, the famous barber that everyone knows. And he says, "Yo, Joel, what are you doing, bro?" I was like, Vic, what's good? "I'm just studying, bro. I'm kicking it. I'm not doing any haircuts right now." And he's like, "Bet, can you be in Hollywood in 30 minutes? Pooh Shiesty needs a haircut." I check my DMs and I have a DM from Pooh Shiesty, an upcoming rapper who the world probably knows now. He's been in jail for a while, but I think he's getting out. And next thing you know, I'm cutting his hair. I'm in this mansion. I'm looking at Hollywood Hills. There's a balcony view to my left. I look to my right and I see Gucci Mane, and he's walking straight towards me. "Gucci Mane, what's up, bro?" I dap him up. That was a seed planted. I actually got to cut his hair as well. And this is the quote that your gifts will make room for you. There's duties, there's a calling, and then there's your gifts, your vision, your purpose. That's level 3. Most people never make it there. Many are called, but few are chosen. So today I want to break down exactly my story of how I became prepared, because if I am prepared when my time comes, then it will reveal me. But if I am unprepared when my time comes, then it will expose me. And so there was a time years before where the barber in the shop caught me not cleaning my tools, not changing my gloves in between haircuts. I would use the same pair of gloves all day long. I wasn't in alignment with who I wanted to be. Now, my biggest problem with achieving my vision has been relying on man, because building my house on the sand, like the Sermon on the Mount says, is nothing compared to building it on the rock. This happened a few times. The first time that this happened, where I relied on mankind to give me my vision, instead of realizing it's something way bigger than me, was actually when, in Ohio, I got a job as a telemarketer. Instead of just trusting that barbering was the path, I said, let me just get a job, let me go to college. Thankfully, I broke out of that, and I went all in on my vision. You gotta trust your vision when no one else sees it, when people think it's crazy. Never, ever, ever settle for a path that you know is not yours. The next time it happened was one of my first mentors, peers in the barbershop said, "Bro, why are you focusing on inspirational captions? There's only so many times you could tell your story until it gets repetitive. Like, just focus on scaling your business." I was like, bro, I really like to inspire people. The next thing happens when on my birthday, I get a phone call from this individual who says, "Hey, I was doing my nighttime mindset routine, and I want you to know that if you start online coaching, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna murk you, I'm gonna kill you." And I was like, oh shit, all right. So I backed down from my vision, my true calling. And that's the problem, is that if we can't be faithful with little, then God can't gift us with a lot. And that's a verse in Luke. There's a quote that says, "Many are called and few are chosen." And I just want you guys to think of the story of David and Goliath. If you guys know David and Goliath, it's one of the most common stories. He was a shepherd, right? He was just a boy. He wasn't even like a grown man warrior, nothing like that. He was your average guy that, remember, talent hits a target that other people say, "Wow, good job. I see you could hit that. I don't think I could have hit that, but good job, you hit it." But vision, or the God-given purpose, that's a gift to you, that hits a target that no one could see. So David in the Bible says, you know what? I'm gonna go fight Goliath. But guys, before he fought Goliath, young David killed a lion and a bear. Savage, right? And that was like a rite of passage for him to earn the throne of like, no, I'm gonna fight Goliath now, right? So the same thing applies for you. The same way I had to prepare myself for the phone call from Vic Blends in my barber journey of like, let me actually have my tools ready. Because what I did from that point on is I had a travel bag with tools in my bag that were separate from my station in my day-to-day shop, so that anytime I got a phone call, I was ready. And this was telling the universe that like anything that is instant, just call Joel. He's gonna be the one that's actually prepared. So I literally was just manifesting it. I was creating it. I was walking in alignment with it. And this is the secret to having a vision and knowing what your vision is it's who, not how, bro. I used to think that all I needed was a system and a blueprint and like the perfect guidance, until I realized I wasn't the individual who could carry that thing out. And I have many stories about this. One time I got a tip for a haircut and I'm shaking like this because he gives me a $50 tip, and I was like, whoa, I felt so out of alignment. Now the same thing happened much later. when I raise my prices and one of my clients says, I can't pay, that's too much, bro. There's no way I'm coming back anymore. You're going up on your price, I'm out. And I said, bro, my clients spread the good word about me every single day. Like, I believe in abundance. My clients spread the good word about me every day. That was an affirmation that I had been saying. So my point is that the chance for my preparation to show off revealed who I was. The same way when I was unprepared in the past and I'm shaking because I'm out of alignment with the abundance, that client never came back. So many are called, few are chosen, brother. I want you to know this. You have gifts, you have a vision, but it's gonna be chipped away like a sculptor. Chipped away, very small chunks. There's a story of a guy called Michael Letito, okay, in 1959 all the way to 1997. He ate 8 tons of metal. You heard that right. In 2 years, he ate a whole airplane, a small plane. And how would he do it? He would chunk it. So he would take that plane and he would just chunk it down and then sprinkle it onto his meals. That's how people do it. So I want you to look at your vision the same way. You don't need to have the whole thing planned out perfectly. God isn't just gonna say, Joel, this is God of the universe, God of Abraham. Your vision is to become a public speaker. You are going to speak to the masses on YouTube, sitting on a beach. No, it's not really how it happened. He'll give you little sprinkles of it, right? And so it's just your job to remain obedient to the small day-to-day. To gain your true authentic vision is such a blessing that is only gifted to those who obey the call. What is the call? It's when you don't act out of character, because there's a moral consequence for our actions. If we do not act in alignment with that individual on a day-to-day basis, why would God gift us with this present, this amazing blessing of a grand vision to guide his people? We're not even a worthy advocate. The secret is to become the who that unlocks the how. And there's other ways that we block our vision. For myself, it was scrolling. Anytime I scroll, I get too caught up in my matrix goggles and I start wanting to fit into what everybody else is doing. And that's why it's very easy to stand out in the world in 2025, 2026, because no one's abstaining from the vices, the smoking, the drinking, the scrolling. They designed this world we live in today to be a massive distraction for your true calling and vision. In the old days, people read books and journaled and spent time alone in isolation. A man is more powerful when he spends time alone. Why? Because he reflects more. In 2025, we don't have that, and we also don't have a rite of passage for boys to become men. And so most men don't have a vision, and like myself, I was following others. I had that person say to me, Joel, if you become a coach, I'll kill you. So I didn't do it for years. And that is a moral consequence. I literally said, fuck you to the vision that God gave me. That's literally how I look at it. You're being called. Few are chosen only because few have the confidence and the courage to see that thing through. So when God gives you the call, you gotta pick it up. Imagine this. Imagine you were called to be the only personal development book or the only Bible that somebody could read. They would just be interested in your life. So they're just watching your Instagram story, they're watching your YouTube channel, they're just watching you every day in real life. And they're like, oh, this is a dope person. Are your actions leading them to a righteous path? The book you're writing every day with your actions, or is the blueprint that you're laying down leading them to a demonic path? I mean, it's just black and white. You're either like going to the club, drinking, smoking, scrolling, partaking in all the world's pleasures today instead of purpose tomorrow, or you're saying, no, 90% of my life is purpose, only 10% pleasure. I abide by these character. I have the appearance of my 10.0 self mapped out, and I'm becoming that every day. The energy, the actions, and the demeanor, I have that all mapped out, and I'm in alignment. And this is where you say to me, Joel, but that's crazy, bro. Like, when you started this, you were 160 pounds, now you're 230. I don't think I have that much patience. 70 pounds of muscle, that's gonna take me too long. Joel, I came from a basement in Ohio. How can I go to a high rise and a Rolls Royce and retiring your mom and all these achievements, monthly masterminds with your students, whatever stats you want to place, worldly achievements. How could I do that? It's going to take me so long. Well, sometimes people forget. If God gave us everything we want right now, bro, would you really be ready for it? Like, would you actually steward that blessing? If Pooh Shiesty and Vic Blends called me the first time, I wouldn't have been ready. But when Pooh Shiesty and Vic Blends called me the second time, I was ready. I murked it. He posted me on his story. And then at the next week, I gained 4,000, 5,000 followers on Instagram because he posted me on his story. These are the simple quantum leaps that happen because God multiplies you. He doesn't add you. It's not 2 + 2 = 4. It's 2 + 2 times God equals a quantum leap. And it's not something you can comprehend. There's no logic. God doesn't operate in logic. So what I don't want you guys to do is say, Joel, that's going to be hard. How do I gain 70 pounds of muscle? I figured out a lot of cheat codes, and I don't mean steroids. I figured meal placement cheat codes and whatnot. And so I just want you guys to have faith. I want you guys to have faith first, and you'll be gifted everything you need to achieve the vision. First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to, just like the guy who ate the plane and then just sprinkled little parts of it in every meal, we're going to chunk your goal out as well. You're going to set a goal right now of who you want to be in 10 years. So what weight do you want to be? How much money do you want to earn? What occupation would you love to have? What's a day in the life of your dream life? Let's map it out. Cool? 10 years from now. Do you want to be married? Do you want a family? Do you want to be single? Do you want to be in a certain country? Do you want to be living abroad? What car do you want to drive? How do you want to live? What do you want to wear? How do you want to look? Cool, so we're gonna go appearance of your 10.0 self in 10 years from now. That's everything from his physical weight, if he has tattoos, if he's got muscle mass, if he's got veneers, I don't care, whatever your vision is, your vision. Don't listen to any man. It has to be unbiased. This is the secret right here for my underly fathered viewers. You're gonna think that, oh, I should probably look at what Joel just said and be like him. Nope, nope. Nope. You might be like, no, I want to be a marathon runner, so I don't care about muscle whatsoever. That's not my path, but that's yours. And God's going to give you everything you need on that path. You're still going to learn the traits, the patience, the endurance, the overcoming from running marathons. The same thing applies. Appearance. Next is the energy. So when he walks in the room, is he frustrated? Is he stressed out? Or is he peace, joy, and love? No matter what's going on in his life, he's got this energy of like, I figure this shit out. This is easy. Life is abundant. Life is effortless. Does he have that energy? Okay. Next, appearance, energy. Next is the actions. What actions does he partake in every day? 10 years from now, you created this incredible superhero. Cool. What actions does he partake in? List that out. What time does he wake up? What time does he go to the gym? These are non-negotiables. You have to take care of this temple. You can't trash the temple and expect God to make you a vessel for his people. So you have to create the version of you that you would listen to. Appearance, energy, actions. The last one is the demeanor, right? So once you can list these out and it's someone that you would listen to, go back to when you were a little kid. Who did you look up to? To get to the kingdom, you have to be childlike, right? So what's the kingdom here? It's your vision, it's your calling, it's your purpose. It's that gift. Now, to be childlike means, think back when you were a little kid, bro. Who did you look at like, oh shit, I want to be like him one day. We used to have these visions. I want to be a superhero, a firefighter. And then we just settle and we think that because we put on this identity, this hat of like barber or like construction worker, these guys are doing construction back here, or lifeguard at the beach. Like we think that's just who we are. That's an illusion. That's an illusion. And that's a dangerous trap. You can be anybody you want to be, bro. With enough time, it just takes a very long time to have positive self-talk in those times of adversity when you're down and out in hard times. Positive self-talk and congruent actions. So if your 10.0 self wakes up at 4 and you're not waking up at 4 right now, you're living in delusion. You're living a double life. That's cognitive dissonance. What is cognitive dissonance? It's just where you say you want this thing, this grand life, but you're over here doing a squiggle when you could just do a straight line to get where you want. Time is an illusion. Time is an illusion. Fuck the 10 years. You right now, if you act as if you are that individual with the energy, actions, appearance, and demeanor and character of that version of you, now you're already it. You already abide by the same beliefs, actions. You're in alignment. You're him now. And it's a matter of time until the result comes, and you'll be prepared when the opportunity comes. Let's go.